first of all, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining in. It's really an honor to have you with us today. So thank you so much for accepting our invitation. And my ladies and gentlemen, respected faculty members, and all our valued students, a warm welcome to another enlightening episode of GIBS IRE Talks Series. Professor Sandeep Ansali, and it's my pleasure to host today's IRE Talk. We all speak about a lot about entrepreneurship and startups. So entrepreneurship is the cornerstone of every economic development and innovation in the modern world. As globalization continues to reshape the industries, it is very, very essential to explore how entrepreneurs can adopt a global outlook, leveraging diverse culture, insights, and emerging into opportunity borders. I'm sure this session gonna be very, very enriching with a rich of ideas and insights into navigating entrepreneurship on an international scale. As we discuss on the topic for today is innovating beyond borders, a global perspective on entrepreneurship. So before we proceed, let me introduce you all to GIBS Business School. GIBS Business School is based in Bangalore, India. We are an exclusive business school promoted and driven by the IIM alumni, offering a top-tier education in terms of business management education. Currently, we have two flagship programs, BBA from Bangalore University and AICTE-approved PGDM program. These courses are meticulously designed to equip our students with the necessary skills and knowledge to thrive in the business world. Our curriculum blends both theoretical as well as the practical application, guided by the experienced faculty and the industry experts. With the state-of-art facility, corporate partnerships, and strong placement cell, GIBS ensures every students are very, very well prepared for their professional journeys. To give you a small gist about what IRE Talks is, it is an initiative of GIBS Business School Bangalore, which is dedicated to enhance the student skills in innovation, research, and entrepreneurship. This platform speaks more about to interact with the industry leaders and successful entrepreneurs, as well as the academic experts. The innovation, research, and entrepreneurship framework encourages the students to develop innovative ideas, conduct significant research, embark on entrepreneurial journey through these engagements. Students gain a valuable insight, build professional network, as well as boost their confidence, preparing them to excel in their career and make an impactful contribution to the business world. So it's really an honor and a privilege to speak about our today's keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Sara Ramzani. And we have Professor Sara, who serves as a professor and head of Business Studies Department at GISMA University of Applied Sciences, Germany, with a wealth of academia experience as well as a profound understanding of global entrepreneurship. Dr. Sara has guided countless students and professionals in cultivating innovative mindset, as well as building sustainable business models that thrive in the global landscapes. Ma'am's insights on entrepreneurship, innovation, and cross-border business strategies have inspired a lot of individuals as well as the institutions worldwide. So it's my honor and privilege to welcome you, ma'am, on behalf of GIBS. It's really an honor to have you with us today. So before I hand it over to you, just last one information to all the participants. In case if you have any queries, any doubts, anything which you would love to ask the professor, probably you can put it across in the Q&A section. We will take it at the end of the session, right? So handing it over to you, ma'am. Over to you.
Yeah, wow, wonderful. Thank you so much, dear Sandeep, for having a wonderful introductory session for me. Thanks a lot, and it's my pleasure being here. So, here, 12:30, I know, I think it should be 5 p.m. there, right? So I have to, good afternoon, everyone. And yeah, I think already you completed everything, so I have nothing to say about myself. So my name is Sara. So I had finished my PhD in economics and information system back to 2015. And I used to live in Malaysia and Singapore for 15 years. And then I back to UK. I'm so proud to say I managed the level 6 and level 7 students in Tower Hill campus in UK, in London. And then I back to Copenhagen and then in Berlin. So I used to work with a couple of universities in Berlin, public and private universities, and so proud to say I supervise as of now roughly around 28 PhD students across the world, which so far they graduated and they're so successful. And I'm so proud to just see their profiles on LinkedIn, honestly. So yeah, and now I'm the head of business study in GISMA University of Applied Science in Berlin. And of course, as a dissertation module leader, and of course, as a Senate member and the Deputy Chair of Exam Board in GISMA. So it's my pleasure just being here today. And yeah, today we're going to talk about innovations beyond the borders. So all of us, we heard a lot about innovations, about entrepreneurs, about how we can take initiatives towards this. In Berlin, I think, we do have lots of students from India. And once they are coming to this stage, they're applying for their PhD or even for master programs, always they're asking about how can I draw up a good business plan? So how can I identify my company and how can I do value propositioning? And what are the job opportunities for me in Berlin or in German? And how can I stand out and say, here is my business? And how can I help to the government? Maybe later on you have a plan to just come to German. I'm not sure, maybe to EU. So here I try my best, even though the short notice I received from Professor Guru. So I try my best to just prepare for you some a few slides, but of course the points is not going to be ended here. So if you're looking forward to just have you're having any questions or you would like to just participate to some additional workshops, which absolutely is free for students. So just let me know. I'm more than happy to help you. Yes, please. Can we move on and go to the next slide, please? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So we know about the entrepreneurs, right? Entrepreneurship is no longer confined by geographical boundaries. In today's interconnected world, so innovations transcends the borders, just fueled by technology, cross-cultural collaborations, and global market opportunities. So, of course, for having a comprehensive explorations of the global perspective on entrepreneurship and how innovations just thrives across the boundaries, we have to first talk about how we can raise the global entrepreneurs and how government or corporate governance is strong enough to just lend the best support possible to the entrepreneurs. I try my best for today. I just prepare for you one example case study, but definitely as per just talking, please if you just stop me if I'm talking too much because for lectures we never ever can fulfill the requirement as per timing. Please just you let me know if you are beyond the timing, then I have to stop. So regarding to this slide, of course, it's introducing the concept of global entrepreneurship, where individuals engage in innovative business activities across international borders, such as activities, for example, we do have in Berlin, we do have in Frankfurt. Governments in Germany, they are lending really good support to the entrepreneurs. But of course, you need to have a good business plan, and you have to make sure you're fulfilling the requirements for for sustainability, for sustainable development goals. Since January 2021 in Germany, from the Brandenburg, we already mentioned all the entrepreneurs. They are starting to just initiate their own business. They need to fulfill the requirements for sustainable development goals, which is really, really, I would like to say, is a well-demanded topic among the industries, companies, and entrepreneurs nowadays. Such activities including exporting, licensing, setting up offices abroad, or just acquiring the ventures, just pushing for accelerated innovations, economic growth, and solving the global challenges. So regarding to the entrepreneurs, of course, once we are talking about accelerating, we are talking about technology, we are talking about different types of companies or structures do we have. So regarding to the Anshov or Boston's framework, I think I'm not sure students they're coming from which background, but always we're talking about market penetrations, market development, and starting to just initiate the framework, which is helping to the companies. Looks like the clock strategy model from International Strategic Management, which we are talking about what are the type of the product you're willing to produce and how you're willing to help. The first questions in EU we are asking, how are you willing to help to the society? Which is really important rather than just thinking about gaining the profit. So resource efficiency and of course social impact. Unfortunately nowadays, because of the war is happening and economic condition is not flexible, which has a direct impact on the fluctuating rate of the price in EU. And of course, for the energy, and of course for insurance companies, the price continue to increase because of war. But yet again, government always is standing there because here we go. We are saying the amount of tax you're paying to the government, it's going to help you in a different way, which is lending you the best possible support during the critical situation. The example, which I would like to say, during the pandemic situations, right after pandemic situations, maybe, we had lots of companies they bankrupt. So that could be Sunday, the taxi drivers, the hotels and industries. So we had lots of and restaurants in EU. They just bankrupt because the tough policy rules towards the pandemic was not leading them to open the restaurants or just having their own business. So what government did? For example, in Denmark, they pay roughly around 200,000 krone, which is equal by roughly around 40 to 45,000 euro, if I'm not mistaken. So to the business, of course, depends the type of business, just lend them support for 2 years, and then they minimize the tax rate to those entrepreneurs which they lost their business. So, but those which they paid in a different way, looks like the Uber drivers or those which are just working as per their contract, they just lost their business. So what I'm going to say right now here is corporate governance, ethics, and of course, sustainability always is lending the best support possible to the entrepreneurs around the world. Could you please just change this slide and we go to the next?
Ma'am, your camera is not visible.
I don't know why, but my camera is on.
It's
You
on.
cannot see?
Can you just turn it off and turn it on if you don't mind?
Yes, of course. Let me, now it's off, and let me try this. Okay, now
Okay.
it's good. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so do you know about Rappi company? Do we have anyone here knows about Rappi company? Okay, so maybe it's Sneha or is Legacy hand or she wants to answer the question. I'm not sure.
They can put it in the Q&A in case if anybody knows about the Rappi company. You can just put it in the Q&A. Yes, no. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just saw the. Okay,
All
that's
right.
perfect. Oh, I can see lots of questions right now. That's good. I will answer to all the questions. Okay. Do we have anyone say yes?
As of now, no.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm pretty sure inside your home country, even though India is really strong enough in terms of IT and technology, we're saying the same things to our students, and we are looking forward to collaborate more nowadays with Indian companies because you guys are doing a great job in India, and it's really well demanded in German. So these things is related to IT, technology, engineering, business, data science, and of course, regarding to the carbon footprint, which nowadays we have a project with India, which one of my friends just yesterday he traveled back to India. So, which is regarding to the carbon footprint. Maybe later on I can share with you about this, maybe in a different session. But we are having lots of projects with India right now. So I'm pretty sure in India also you are having some applications. For example, in German, of course, there also you have Zalando, or we are having Temo, the famous one, which I can mention
Correct.
about that. So in German, normally the price of product is a little bit expensive. So in EU it's expensive, and the reason is because the taxes. We don't want to see loss of products from China comes to the German. The reason is because we are protecting the domestic production, and we want to all producers or companies just to start to produce the product. So in German also itself, we are having such apps looks like Getty, for example. We are having Otkando. We are having a different apps which is helping to the consumers just feel more comfortable. So nowadays in German, mostly people from Iran, from Bangladesh, from India, from different countries are trying to just provide and produce their own app, and it starts to generate a good money towards that. So what is that? What is it, Rappi? So first of all, it's sustainable. So Rappi is a perfect example, which I would like to say, of innovations beyond the borders. So it's starting as a Colombian startup. So it has grown into a Latin American tech which is demonstrating the power of the tech-driven on-demand delivery platform. So the Rappi app looks like whatever you want, grocery, you want to have something pharmaceutical products or whatever you can have from Rappi. And another example, I would like to say, maybe it doesn't make sense with Rappi, but I will talk about Mercedes-Benz company. All of us, we know about this company. So and we are knowing very well, German, we are well known about the car manufacturing product. We are always starting as standing as a number one. So you can see in Mercedes-Benz, for example, we do have our own Mercedes-Benz bank. That means if you want to have a loan, if you want to have a money, if you don't have enough money, Mercedes-Benz having their own bank. So we are going to the Mercedes-Benz bank and then we are asking for a loan. Of course, interest rate is better, is more convenient, and we are having a trust on them. And of course, as a consumer, we are feeling safe. So now you can understand, or maybe we can talk about Tesla. Tesla also having his own bank in German. So if each company, they are setting their own banking system, but this banking system is just providing the facilities for their own consumer rather than, just opening the gate for everyone if you need a loan. Of course, they can gain a good profit because they're a good branded company. But now, let's just go to the Rappi. So Rappi, as I mentioned right now, is a Colombian startup company which are having all the products there, and even though they're having a good credit system and banking system, which they just build the trust among the consumer. But let's say if I have a Rappi in North America and now I want to have a Rappi in India. What will happen? We are having different factors which we have to consider, right? The cultural barriers is different. The language is different. I just touched the word language. The most important things my students are struggling here is with German language. So everyone knows about that. Because all the apps is really so good, is user-friendly, but a student they cannot understand. So what was the content, how they can order, and if they do the mistake, then the money is gone, of course. So they feel scared to just keep contact, just approach with the different apps and just try it and then see which one is more efficient. So first is culture. And the second one is cultural barriers, language barriers, and of course the government policy different. These taxes, of course, is a two-side. The first is from the suppliers, they're putting the product into the platform. There's the second one goes to the consumer. So which one we have to protect? And of course, if we have a tax and if we have interest rate, so we know for the tax and interest rate, we do have a different policy. If tax keep continue to increase, that means the price of product keep continue to increase. If the price keep continue to increase, we are losing the number of the consumer. Now, corporate governance is coming ahead of that. So how they can control this process? If they reduce the tax, then what will happen to the revenue which government is just generating from the tax? So if they touch the interest rate, what will happen to the supplier side? Which those are the information as per economic angle, which I don't want to interrupt because all is related to economic and econometrics. Maybe later we can talk about that. But we have to consider those kind of rules and policy which comes around the corner, because if you're having an app, if you're having a plan, it's not just you think about how much I can generate the money. You have to think about, do you have the short run or long-term planning? So for example, if you're in Berlin and you have a plan to just have your own company, and let's say you're having the easiest one, which is the restaurant, I'm just saying as an example, or you're setting your own company, looks like IT company, and you're generating the coding for the business sectors. So first of all, you have to think about how are you willing to be transparent, because you're not just the only one you're setting this company. How are you willing to be honest with the government, and how are you willing to be honest with your consumer, which you are dealing, and of course you are just releasing the product or services to the consumers also as well. Can we move to the next, please? Thank you. That is good. So I try my best to just have some main themes regarding to this. So of course the cultural influences on the entrepreneurships, but I will just say Rappi just capitalize on two key global trends. So the first is the raising of the demand space on the potential of the super apps. by just diversifying into area like groceries, financial services, and even pet care. And Rappi has just transformed itself into the central hub in the consumers' daily activities. So we would like to say about improving the global entrepreneurs, we have to consider three main points. The first thing is digital transformation. Advancing the digital platform have just enabling the entrepreneurs just access to the global market with ease. From e-commerce, tech, for example, or digital tools bridge the gap between the local and global fusion. So the next is remote work and collaboration, which is really, really important. Distributed the teams across the continents are become norm, just fostering the delivery of thought and creativity also needs to consider here. So the next is global ecosystem. So startup hubs like Silicon Valley, for example, or maybe we can talk about Shenzhen, or maybe the Berlin attract talented from around the world, creating the melting pots of innovation. So number two is related to driving of the cross-border innovation. So culture diversity, which I already mentioned about this, just exposure to diverse the culture inspires the fresh supporting the social tailor more. And global changes, climate change, collaboration solutions beyond the borders, or maybe the typical example, the pandemic or the war, which right now is happening. Of course, we have to consider as part of this process. So access to the global funding. So in German, we do have a really, really good funding for entrepreneurs. So I'm saying, sorry, I just lost the slides. Is it me? I just lost the slide, or maybe?
Okay, this was a slide which we were talking about the themes.
Yeah, it's back right now. Yeah, I have technical issue. Yeah, that's correct. Sorry. Okay, in German, we are having a good funding. So in German, we are having two hubs. The first is for a student, and the second one is for the individual, whoever had business plan and looking for a fund. So, and of course, always I'm encouraging my students just participate and join, because the amount of money is huge, depends to the project. For example, I think you heard about EU funding, which is normally is 400 or sometimes it's 1 million euro. And we are expecting from a student just propose their topic, their title, and how much you need. And government is lending a good possible support. But of course, the filtering is not easy. So, but they are really helpful. But apart of that, maybe we had this case last year. Two students, they came to us saying, we have a business plan, we don't know how to apply for a fund. And then we had from Bundestag, from our government, they came and they just represent. And two of our students, they got 25,000 euro for their project to start and initiate their business. So we do have lots of funds around the corner in EU. And I'm so happy to say government is lending the best possible to the people. But maybe you're asking questions, maybe your students now they're asking this question, how can I apply for that? And I'm saying, unfortunately, you need to be here. You need to have one person in German, and then just you be as a co-author, just collaborate. But make sure you're having a trust, about the person, because I can see lots of messages on LinkedIn, people that are posting, we have research project. If you want, you can join with me. But of course, we cannot easily trust on the words, because research means you have to be proactive and you should know what you are doing. So can we move to the next, please? Okay, good. So entrepreneurs strategy. So we do have the platforms which you can see from the screens, and we are having of course, the most important things I would like to say is hyperlocal focus, which is really important, and of course technological innovations, which always we are saying is really important. But of course, a part of that, once we are talking about the most important, the main themes. So once we talk about the strategy, the journey is not ended here, because we do believe that different types of companies are having a different time strategy. For example, for car manufacturing process, we do have a different strategy. For food processing product, we do have a different strategy. Or maybe for farming things, also, of course, we are planning a different strategy. So, regarding to the Rappi success is just I would like to say building and is platform-based business model, hyper local focus and technological innovation, which is adapting to local markets while just leveraging the data analytics to just optimizing the operations and enhancing the customer's experience, which they really being successful because more than 10 million people they uploaded the app and they start just being engaged with this application because we know uploading the app and engaging with the app is a different thing. So all of us we do have 100 useless apps into our mobile phone. But even though per year, maybe once we are just checking, and even though sometimes we forget what we have, but how about Instagram? Are you approaching with the Instagram at the same level? Of course not. Is it different? Or maybe in German, for example, the Zalando, or maybe if you are having a Lieferando, we are having a different apps which daily we are engaging, we are checking the content, or maybe for the newspaper news side, daily we are checking and engaging and finding the information. So, I would like to say about the barriers and opportunities also a little bit here. So, of course, for the barriers, I would like to just talk about regularity differences. So, navigating the rules, the tax, and of course about intellectual property right access, countries can be also challenging. If Rappi, they have a plan to just set the same app maybe in India or maybe in different country, then they have to consider about these barriers also as well, because rule and regulations in different country, of course, is different. So we do have cultural misunderstanding. So of course, misaligned cultural values, value or business practices may, of course, hinder the partnership or just market penetration. So we do have the resource disparity, which is also is really important. Not all the countries have equal access to the technology, right? Founding or skills labor. For example, me, I'm from Iran, and in my country, totally we are having a different rules. We are having a different policy if you compare with the German or maybe with India or maybe with different countries. So, but of course, we have to well noted about opportunities also as well, which is for emerging market, which is developing the countries, just represent untapped market, which is significant growth potential. Or maybe we can talk about tech-driven globalizations, looks like AI, blockchain, and which is make it easier to just scale business internationally. So knowledge exchange. So the program like exchange initiatives, international incubators, and global accelerators promote entrepreneurs' education and partnership. So I'm so proud to say in GISMA, we are the center of the training for the entrepreneurs in Potsdam, which is nearby Berlin. So that means we're starting to train the people from the government side, individuals, company, whoever is looking forward to just have a support. We are willing to be the center of the training. We already started to train the people, but in our official webpage, still yet we are just working on progressing, just put the content. But very soon, hopefully, you can find this information. Next, please.
I think this we have discussed just now.
Yes,
Challenges
exactly.
encountered. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So now about innovative solution. So of course about this company. So my apologies, I'm receiving lots of message from my colleagues. So because I have a meeting at 1:30, so I'm trying my best to cover all the information as I promised. So about robust logistics network and about financial flexibility and of course about regularity compliance. So for this particular company, Robbie, on delivery feed, for example, they listed on delivery fleet to just ensure reliable ethics. They can leverage technology to optimize delivery resource and track shipments. So about this logistics network, I would like to say in German we are having a good support again from the government.
Welcome.
So if you're the one you're saying I'm standing on my own feet and I want to do this, I don't want to be dependent, looks like vertical or sometimes in a horizontal way. As for strategic management, depends on the different company. If you say, I want to just produce raw material by my own, I want to do this by my own, I want to have my own delivery system, and definitely government is gonna lend you the best support possible. Maybe you're asking, what are the type of the support the companies are receiving? Well, my answer is depends on the company. Let's we just start with the small restaurant, for example, or you're setting your own office. So normally, if you're starting your business and you're having a good plan and government can sense that, they're saying, okay, 4 months you don't need to pay rental fee, or maybe for the first 6 months, if everyone is paying 35 or 38 percentage tax, depends your subclass, you have to pay maybe 32 or 33 percentage. We are having lots of incentives, but depends the type of business. We are having a different way. So financial flexibility, which is a strategic partnership. So Rappi has partnered with investors and financial institutions to just secure funding and manage the financial risk. And of course, about regularity compliance, local expertise or maybe proactive approach, the company proactively engage with regulations to address the concern and seek the clarification. So one more thing is about regularity, compliance, and following the ethics, which is really important. Of course, this one is for the food or maybe the pharmaceutical, depends the type of product you're receiving. Making sure you're fully adhered to the regularity compliance, which are the exist from the government, is really, really important. It's really important. If you have a fault for the first time, if the percentage is too less, you're not harming the people, not to that high level, maybe you have to pay penalty to the government and try to just shut down your business. So they are really tough towards this, and you have to take care about that. So maybe in EU we are having different rules and regulations. For example, in Denmark, the government is really more sensitive. Japan is better. They are more lenient, but in they're so tough as well. So next, please. Okay. Alternative approach. So definitely whatever we are dealing with the alternative approach, of course we are our expectation also is different from the people, from the society, from the companies also as well. But what normally I'm asking this slide from a student. So is there any possibility we ask them to unmute them and talk? So, what about alternative? Oh, you're showing the answer. Could you listen to previous slides? The previous question, what do you think about alternative options?
There are a lot of questions which they have put, but I think they have not answered this question still.
Do we have anyone who wants to say something? Don't feel shy.
Okay. Now we haven't received any responses.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Do we have now postgrad and undergrad student, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or those are just only undergrad student?
We do have undergrad students as well.
Okay, okay, that's great. Okay, I can see Esniha Paul from my screen, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, no, we haven't got any responses on that.
Okay, that's good. I will answer this question. Okay, about alternative approach, of course, we are having thousands different types of alternative alternative approach, right, towards different types of business sectors. So nowadays we know everyone is talking about AI, artificial intelligence. So AI-powered platform can, of course, predict about the market trends and enable the business just tailor to just offering to global audience. So, of course, the second part, which I will just say, is decentralized finance, which is looks like blockchain technology, opens the door to transparent and borderless financial ecosystem. So, or maybe we can talk about climate-centric innovations, which is entrepreneurs across the nations are collaborating on sustainable technologies to combat the global warming. So, in nutshell, I will just say global entrepreneurship is shaping a world where idea and, of course, innovations are not just limited by borders, by just embracing the cultural diversity, leveraging the technology, addressing the global challenges. Entrepreneurs can create solutions which that resonate the worldwide. So I'm saying worldwide because normally we prefer to see long-term plan rather than short-term plan. So those businesses which are growing too fast without thinking about future, 90 to 92% as per research record, they will be bankrupt in between first 5 years. But those business which they are on patient and they are thinking about long-term planning, they are make sure to just stabilize here, try to build their own network, having a good income, and of course, consumer satisfaction is their main priority, they can succeed better. So the key just lies in collaboration, adaptability, and of course, a vision that looks beyond local boundaries to just address the global needs. So those are the points which I would like to just highlight here. Maybe we can go to the next slide, but I think already I have concluded all. Yes. So already regarding to the future trend and opportunity, here we are having the better word, which is regarding to the gig economy, for example. And we can talk about leveraging the technology. We can talk about green tech and clean energy, for example, or maybe digital transformation or maybe niche market. So niche market focus also is really important. Just bearing in your mind, niche market is totally different with monopoly. Okay, it's not the same things. Yeah, can we go to the next, please? Okay, so the effectiveness of Rappi's entrepreneur approach will, of course, depend on its ability to just changing the market conditions, managing the cost, deliver the superior customer experience, which is really important. So by addressing these limitations, and of course we have to talk about pros and cons because we are talking about impact of innovations on entrepreneurs towards the global perspective view. So then definitely we do have some pros and cons, and it's not good to say 100% if they follow, for example, option A to B or A to Z, they're going to be successful. Always we have some pros and cons because it depends to the economic condition, the country's point of view about their globalizations. Are they willing to just enter to the new market? Or maybe, of course, sometimes we do have mergers and acquisitions also as well, right? So if they enter to the mergers and acquisition side, then definitely their strategy continue to change. But how can we elucidate this way and how we can make sure we are more efficient? That one is all depends to business plan, all depends to the process you're following, and of course about sustainability. Sustainability is not just about pollution or carbon footprint or using the paper or minimizing the paper. No, it's not just this. We do have different SDGs. So I'm so proud to say for measuring up number 2, the books drafted by UN for 2023, I'm the one I drafted SDG 9 and 16, which was related to educations, innovations, and technology. So I'm recommending to you, just went through all the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and see what are the initiatives your country already is doing and what are the improvements you can recommend to the government. Maybe at this stage, you're a student and you're thinking about, okay, I still have a way to go. I'm not graduating right now. Later I will do that. But my advice to you is try to find your patient because you are the one you could help to your country. I'm the
Mhm.
one I'm learning to help to my, maybe I'm here, but I'm the one I can help them with the policy, with the framework, having a training. Each of us, we are responsible for this society. So try your best to just find the niche, which what are the area you would like to just improve and start to train yourself. So yeah, my session is ended here. So thank you so much. And now I'm ready to just answer to the questions.
Certainly, I'm sure you've put everything right in a nutshell, and I'm sure all our participants would have taken a lot of notes on that. So let's move to the Q&A. There are a lot of questions which the participants have asked.
Mm-hmm.
So just one of our participants is asking, how do cultural differences influence the entrepreneurship across the borders?
Of course, it depends to is it the type of the companies you are having? Is it franchising? Is it licensing? Is it joint venture? Is it mergers or acquisitions? So it 100% impacted to the culture. The typical example I can say, you can see the KFC or McDonald's company in India, for example, or maybe in Muslim countries, they are providing a different types of product. Why? The Starbucks even do. So they are having their own product, right? They can stand, they say, here we go. Looks like Apple company, say, here we go, is my product. So I'm a brand. So if you want, you can purchase. If you don't want, you can stay outside the door. But if you want to just expand globally, you have to consider about cultural barriers. And even though not just only globally, in Berlin, we are having lots of nationality. I will just left and right, you can see students from India, from different countries, they are here. So if someone in German wants to expand the business, so now they cannot go as per traditional way and just say, here we go, Deutsch is my German. You should learn my language if you want to purchase my product. No, you're the one you're selling your product. You're the one you're representing your product. Looks like if now just imagine me, I come to this session and start to speak in Indian. How do you feel? You're feeling more comfortable, right? It's
Yeah.
finding, wow, she's respecting to my culture. She knows my culture. She necessarily doesn't need to know about Indian language, but she knows. That's good. See, about the product also, we do have the same things. You should know about the culture. Up to the culture, then you can design your product and services. Typical example. I used to live in Malaysia for almost 8 years, and then I back to Singapore for 7 years. 15 years I spent it there. And yeah, and I realized that people, for example, are having a different religions, right? So those they are Muslim, even though they feel scared to touch the chocolate, which doesn't have a halal logo. So maybe for me and you, that's fine, but we have to show respect to the people. So now if you go to Malaysia, if you go to Kuala Lumpur, I saw from your website, you are collaborating with some universities in Malaysia, which I'm so happy to see that because they are so strong in terms of research and activities, and you can learn a lot from them. So if you go to Malaysia, you go to Kuala Lumpur, if you go to the KFC, you can see the people from Malaysia, they line up first. Is more than 35 people, even though the people feel scared of unhalal product. What happened here? They know McDonald's originally is from US and they are not producing the halal, but they adjusted the product for the people and they just build the trust among the people. Maybe these buildings the trust 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, but it is worse because the business looks like a baby and you have to inject the money as long as slowly you're receiving the benefit or you're generating the good profit from your business. So knowing all about the culture barriers, how you can deal with that. Is it the set for your product or services which you are producing for your consumer? And how about your competitors? Always I'm saying is good. You are having a good strategy for your company, but try your best to have disruptive strategy also as well. What does mean? Disruptive strategy means give shock to the market and say, hey, I'm here with the new product. No one have this. For example, Apple is producing the laptop, phone, different things. And back to 2007, I think suddenly they give disruptive strategy to market with
Yeah.
iPad. So everyone during that time tried to write something about iPad, even though they don't know how to use the iPad, but they start to have iPad because the looks was classic and fancy. And they give good shock to the market. But if now you put into the Boston strategy for the star, for the cash cow, and so on, you can see iPad. is looks like the dog inside the boothstone because okay, they generated the good money, but there is no more demand right now because now the iPad from China is 100 euro. Why I have to pay
Yeah.
1,100 euro to purchase from Apple, right? So in a nutshell, culture is really important, but yet again depends to your competitors, corporate governance policy, and about your target marketing. You have to design your product and services as per their demand.
Great. Thank you so much. I'm sure that if anybody wants to get into international business, they need to know the culture. They need to know the local markets there to understand the people better.
Exactly.
Right. So moving with the next question, how can entrepreneurs use data and analytics to drive the innovation in the international markets?
Good. Data analytics first, and of course, most important things which you should know about data analytics, because if you don't know about data analytics, you're gonna face with the issue with your supply chain and logistics. So if you're having an issue with your supply chain and logistics, then you cannot earn a good money. So see, looks like Amazon company. You can see how they're working perfectly fine with data analytics, and they are having the strongest supply chain and logistics in the entire world. So what are the reasons? Because of data analytics, which is really important. So such a good question you asked. Data analytics is not just only we mentioned for car manufacturing or I don't know for pharmaceutical, for all the business sectors. As you would like to just continue, of course, you should know about data analytics. But the good news is we do have workshops for data analytics for logistics and supply chain. Maybe later on I can share with you Sandeep, the workshops, and if you feel comfortable from your side, then you can share. Of course, for your students, all is free.
Certainly.
Yep.
Thank you so much for that.
Welcome.
Ma'am, can you, one of our students is asking, can you share some example of successful entrepreneurs who have innovated beyond the borders? Probably as you rightly mentioned about Tesla or probably Apple.
Rappi, yeah, Rappi, for example, we had today. So we are having lots of entrepreneurs. So do you want me to give you example from Berlin? In Berlin, we have a lot. We have a lot. So let's, for example, beyond the border, that's a good Tesla, for example, or maybe we know about how they're saving the energy, right? They're minimizing the lithium battery and helping to the society to save the energy. For example, if you're having a car from the Mercedes-Benz, just an example, and you're driving, of course, we ladies always we have an issue. So if something happened to your car, or maybe you don't know something will happen to your car and you're just driving, and suddenly you're receiving a call from the company from your car, even though you call to someone and they're saying to you, you're driving too fast and after 1 kilometer is a heavy traffic jam and your speed is too fast, please just take care of yourself. So that one is a kind of the things which you can see they are really beyond the border, even though you're having GPS, even though you're having your Google Maps, but car is having their own responsibility. They're giving you the call alarm, say, hey, stop. Even though we have a smart driver and we are allowed to use in Germany, we have the highway with unlimited speed. But yeah, I really like those kind of initiatives, which Mercedes-Benz, Tesla, and lots of companies are doing right now. But yet again, how many consumers they can have Mercedes-Benz? So we know that the income rate in EU is not that much high, and people they're paying huge amount of tax to the people to the government. So but how about the rest? Those they are driving the Ford or let's say Volkswagen, for example, or different car. I'm not saying they're a bad car, but depends to luxury. The level is a little bit down. But what will happen to them? For them also, they are having a different system. So, but of course, it depends to manufacturing year. We are having a different example. So for car manufacturing, because Germany always stand as a number one for car manufacturing, or maybe I will just mention, we're gonna be the first country we will have the way to just fuel the car without staying in petrol station. So that is so good. That is interesting. Once you're driving, you're generating the electricity, and that's one gonna be, consume again as long as you're driving. So they are just using the highways, some specific type of highways for that uh, way which they are implementing to just be more sustainable, because in Germany we are producing lots of pollution, and maybe in your country also, but in our government they are more sensitive. I will just say they're checking everything by ton. So if you just exceed more than 20 ton per year, then of course the amount of money you're paying is different, and then now is the right time. You just go and invest in a different country. So now here we go. We take these initiatives and we're investing now, which I mentioned at the beginning of session. I have a project with India. We're investing in India right now. With the tree, with the jungle, with the nature which you have, we are helping to the society. So I think it's a typical example, which I will just say, or maybe Mercedes-Benz or Tesla, we will just talk about that, or maybe about Zalando Lounge, for example, in Berlin, which is really, really famous, which is really well demanded, which they go beyond the border in terms of sustainability and having a good customer support, I will just say. Yeah, those are the examples which I can mention.
Great. I'm sure a lot of examples. A little bit, I'm sure the automobile industry in Germany is really amazing. So best of the best automobile sectors are based from Germany. So
Yep.
I'm looking forward for many, many more, which they elaborate, expand their business in the different countries.
Yeah,
So
finger crossed.
finger crossed, absolutely. So the next question is like, if we were supposed to enter into any sector, which is the best to enter right now at this moment? Would you like to suggest
Entering the
them?
sector, that means what? Funding for a job or
For
sorry.
entering the business.
Okay, depends your background first. Okay, let me clarify this thing. So I'm saying to my student, once you're going to be graduate, so you're gonna have your certificate, right? So master in business, MBA or whatever, or degree in business. So you're having a certificate. So maybe in India is, or maybe even though in Singapore, it was really important to say, I am graduated from public university. I am graduated from private university. And always I'm talking about myself. I struggle to go to the best top university for my PhD. And I struggle a lot. I finished everything. But once I came here, no one even though be able to spell my university name. So you're having a PhD in management, you're having a PhD in economic. That's all. Of course, government will check and reevaluate your certificate. So if you're as a top ranking university, then once you're translating or transforming the certificate to German, which is we're calling ZAP, it's more easy because your university looks like your university GIBS is so good, and easily you can transfer and you can do your documentation. But if you're going to the job interview and you're saying, I have from this University Putra Malaysia or blah, 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 but they don't know, even though they cannot spell, okay. The things which is talking is the way you are conveying the knowledge. Okay, the thing is talk is the software you're knowing about that, how to work data analytics, how to play with the numbers, how to analyze, how to visualize the things, how many AI tools is around the corner, which we can take advantage of that. Those are the information which is really important. So which business we can enter? So this question should be interlinked to your degree program. Okay, if you are having a certificate from data science or you're from engineering, of course, we are having SAP or Simple Office, which are so good. But the things which our students are having advantage here, maybe you have is internship programs, which always I'm recommending to the student. Go with internship programs and try to learn about the company's culture. Here is not looks like you go and beg for a job, okay? You are going there, you say, here is my CV, I want to work. If I want, I will just continue with you. Okay. And I'm so proud to say 98, 99% of our students, maximum 6 months after graduation, they are having a good job. And now I have my students, they are working in Deutsche Bank, they are working in Sparkasse, they're working in Postbank. We are having a different sectors in Bosch company, and they're really, really successful. But they are successful not because of me, because of they be able to talk about and answer to the questions for the interview. So I'm recommending to you, and I cannot see your faces, unfortunately, but I believe that all of you are too young. So make sure just strengthening your CV, okay, and try to go with one way. Don't jump in a different way. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not efficient. So now think, okay, my, for example, program is project management or is marketing or digital marketing. What are the tools I have to learn? If you have a plan to go to a different country or even though in your country, you should know about the tools. But the certificate, see how many students you have? 1,000. We are having also 4,000. We have 4,000 students for MBA. They are going to the market. So what's going to be the differentiate between those students? Their knowledge, right? Not the certificate, because all they will have the same certificate. So your question was a little bit too broad, but as I wish I already answered your question.
Absolutely, because they need to know their own niche, and accordingly, they can probably choose the domain which they would like.
Exactly.
Right. So, with due respect of time, we will have to wind up here, ma'am. And I thoroughly enjoyed the sessions. I learned a lot
Thank you.
of things with regard to the global context. So, we would also love to host you any day, if in case if you're in India, we would love to host you at
Thank you so
GIBS.
much. Thank you so much. I will travel there very soon, but it was really my pleasure to join today. So please keep in touch, stay in touch with me. So if you want to collaborate for the future programming, or if you want to, I don't know, sometimes exchange the students with us, we are really open, because I have lots of good friends from India, students from India, and always it's my pleasure to work
Certainly, we
with
would
you.
love to get associated whatever way possible. So we will certainly connect
Thank you.
off the note. So to see more collaboration and more associations joining with the university and here in GIBS. So we would love to host you even online, offline, whatever way possible. But it's real an honor, and we would love to extend a heartfelt gratitude to you, ma'am, for being
Thank
with
you
us and assisting all the students and all of us. So it's really an honor to have you. Thank you so much
so
for
much. My
joining.
pleasure. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. And
Bye.
thank you everyone for joining in. We would love to stay connected and stay updated with the furthermore IRE GIBS Talk series.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
And have a great day ahead, man. Thank
You too.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.